Time out of your Saturday morning. I'm Shannon Mason, Vice Chair of the Millbrook Meadow Committee, and we welcome you all. We have some exciting news, and hopefully today is going to have a lot of fun. We are getting ready to hopefully go to contract shortly to start the dredging process for Mill Pond. I know we've had a recent PSA release saying that it may be put off until 2018. But good news is that we're trying to work out some details and move some additional funds so that can proceed for this winter and this fall. So great news. We also want to ask for your attendance at Fall Town Meeting, because the other half of this project, which is a lot near and dear to a lot of people's hearts too, is the Meadow. And so that we have an application with CPC for $360,000 to take up the final piece of the funding for the Meadow restoration. So we hope if you all are towns, folks, if you could come to Fall Town Meeting, we certainly would appreciate your attendance. I want to also thank Eric Hutchins. Hi Joe. I need to say hi to Joe Parisi too, our Director of Public Works. Eric Hutchins, who's over here, Colleen Coogan, and everybody else from Cape Ann, Vernal Pond, and Kestrel team. We appreciate you for coming and organizing. And if I could also just point out, any of our committee meetings are open to the public. We are glad to have you all stop by and ask any questions that you might have about the process or what's going on. We meet on the second Wednesday of each month in the trustees room at the library at 7 o'clock. We have a webpage on the town page and also our Conservancy webpage. I do have a little table here for an email list. If anybody is interested, I promise I don't fill your inbox. It's just a few times a year, just at key points to get you updated. If you'd like to put your email address on there and you haven't done so already, I'm glad to include that. So also committee members who are here, any of us are more than welcome to have meet you here, have a chat with you, bring you up to date. Hi, I'm sorry, I'm going to stop in a minute, I promise. Laura Hallowell over here in the purple jacket has been really instrumental in helping kind of move this project to this point, and we thank Laura for her help and time. Eileen Morrissey, who's right here, and where's Charmaine? Charmaine Blanchard, and Ted Tarr, wherever Ted is. There's Ted Tarr. And we also have Meadow, who's one of our advisors, and I'm thinking Neil. What's Neil?
Emond.
Is also one of our advisors. So, as well as Eric. So I'm going to turn this over to Eric's show and let everything get going. Thank you guys very much.
Super. Thanks. Okay. I'm going to give you the rundown of what we're going to do this morning. I'm Eric Hutchins. We're all here to see turtles and eels. We don't know if we're going to see any. We're not going to promise anything. We know there's some in here. We know they're swimming around. What we did yesterday morning is you can see some of the traps. We have 11 what are called hoop traps. They're all Rick Ross, Cape Ann Vernal Pond team, is leading up the effort to catch the turtles. We're going to catch as many of the turtles as we possibly can and simply move them upstream to Loop Pond. Loop Pond is that pond that you see if you take the train to Boston. It's just a little ways upstream. So they'll be in their same water system. These turtles and the babies in the future can actually just make their way back down, which they've even done in the past. We have 6 eel traps in here. Interspersed between these little strings going out, that's an eel trap. We got an eel trap out in deeper water. We've not caught many big eels in the past here. We don't know what we're going to catch today. So this is going to be a surprise for everybody. As Rick said, it's like a scavenger hunt, and we don't know what's coming up in these traps yet. We're going to pull them up one at a time. And we got one over there in the bushes, and what we're going to try to do is bring the trap with the animals over here to the grass. Obviously, everyone can't fit out there in the bushes. And we're going to start over there, bring over whatever we catch. Might be nothing, might be just a bunch of water. Measure them, figure out what species that is in the trap, and then we're going to fill our cars up with buckets of turtles. And the turtles will do fine. We're working them up over here in this corner because it'll stay shady this morning, though as you all know, turtles love the sun, so they won't mind a little bit of sun. The eels we certainly want to try to keep a little bit cooler. And then we're going to do this for a couple of hours. We'll see how long it goes. If we get done in good time, and we actually have nets all the way to the other side, so we have a full circle of nets that we're going to be checking. The other thing we're going to be checking is most of you, but not all of you, know that right here we have one of the only, we have an elver trap. And this trap right here catches baby eels. These are eels that have just returned from the Sargasso Sea about 200 to 2,500 miles away. Eels swam to come, baby eels swam to come back to Rockport. They were born in the Sargasso Sea last fall, and they've been migrating from the east coast of the United States for the past almost 9 months, and they're still coming upstream. This year we've already caught, as of yesterday, I believe 1,871 eels in the elver trap. These are just babies. We won't catch any babies in the traps that are in here. These are for the adults. The adults live in Mill Pond and in Loop Pond for upwards of 30 years. Other than humans and turtles, they're some of the longest lived animals that live, and horses too. Horses will break 30. But that's about it. They're actually some of our longest lived animals that live in Rockport are eels. And then in the fall, when they decide it's time to reproduce again, the adult eels, which get up to 3 feet long, 30 years old, out-migrate in the fall with a big rain event. They swim the 2,000 to 3,000 miles back out to the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, farther out than Bermuda. They spawn and die, never to be seen again. And then the next year, the cycle returns. The babies return right off Front Beach. They swim right up the stream. And make sure you take a look, for those who haven't seen it, that's an eel ladder on the downstream side of this dam. It's one of the only eel ladders of its type in Massachusetts. Requires no electricity, there's no pumps. Joe was really, our DPW director was really happy with that. No pumps, nothing to maintain. It runs on its own with gravity. It works really well. We had one day this year, what was the high count? Colleen, what was that high count? 450. No, I think we got a 700, didn't we? One day. It was somewhere between, I can't even remember. Well, often we get 1 or 2 a day.
I think it was in 2 days we had over 700.
Over 700 in 2 days.
Eric, do all eels go to the Sargasso Sea to spawn?
Yes,
From
all of them.
all
All over Europe, all over Greenland.
How do they know? Is it an upwelling of something?
That we don't know.
It's a great mystery. It's a great mystery.
Because eels are worth so much, people have been studying eels. They've been spending millions and millions of dollars for decades trying to understand them. Eels, as of a couple years ago, these baby eels that come up here actually had a value of over $2,000 a pound. It is almost the most expensive seafood that exists in the ocean, though you're not allowed to harvest them in Massachusetts, the babies. They do in Maine.
So what do you do with the babies when you catch them, Eric?
When we catch them here, we bring them upstream and let them go at Loop Pond this year. It's highly illegal. Okay, any questions before we get started from anybody?
Yeah.
Anything?
Are these elvers the babies of the big eels from this location?
Yeah, no, not necessarily. These aren't, they do, every indication is that, he wants to know if these eels are the babies of the eels that used to live here. Every indication is that eels, that is not the case. Unlike salmon and other anadromous fish, salmon 90% of the time go back to where they were born. These fish, their senses are actually on the Sargasso Sea. They do the opposite of salmon, and it's believed to be mostly by opportunity. That's why some years, last year, I think our grand total of eels that returned to this stream was 36. This year we have almost 2,000. It's the massive migrations are coming up the coast, and they just sense fresh water, and it's thought that they just go in. We don't know enough about them to answer it definitively. So there's still a mystery. We have lots of mystery fish in this pond right here. And there's hopefully going to be a few less mysteries when we're done. Okay.
All right.
Rick, you want to add anything to that?
Well, I was over talking to Curtis, and I have no idea where you were, what you were talking about. So if I did, it would probably be a real non sequitur. So I don't think I will.
Okay. So let's go.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. You know.